Okay, now after case study, let's talk about a very important research method, qualitative. Now, I am not a qualitative researcher. Dr. Chen, Wenqi Chen, she is specialized in the qualitative research. So here I just touch some bases. Okay, I'm a quantitative and she's qualitative. Alright, so qualitative is different from quantitative, obviously, in type of the mostly in type of the data they produce. So quantitative, we produce what numbers, okay. For qualitative, however, they produce some narrative report. So the method, they interact with or observe the participants. They describe and or interpret the phenomenon being studied. Um, and actually, we use it quite often in our lives. This is not, of course, it's not that let's say scientific, but it's kind of like so. For example, we will ask people, say, "Hey, what do you think about the Hunger Game, series?" And you get opinions from other people. That's pretty much, in a sense, it's kind of like qualitative research. Now, mostly they rely on interview, ask the research question, and participants get opinions. But this interview is strictly structured. It's not like just whatever interview. It requires some skills. Now, definition might be freely defined by the participant. See, in quantitative research, we deal with numbers. Remember, we talk about operational definition. Everything need to be precisely defined. But in qualitative, it seems some of the definition um, is interpreted by the participants in that we just report. Um, Sometimes we use a focus group, maybe a group of people between 6 and 10 discuss a topic and carefully plan the discussion. Again, this discussion has to be structured. And not only structured, they need to have some guideline to follow. Uh, and of course, it has to be non-threatening environment. So the people they are freely to speak their mind. Uh, and they should have a moderator as an interviewer and a referee. And find common themes for research questions. After that, you find a common theme. There's some example. Well, I should not say exactly example because this is a news report, and so those reporters, when they ask questions, when they do the interview, uh, individual or group, I think sometimes what they are trying to do is just to sell the story, instead of doing research. Um, I upload this video clip. Um, this is about teenage pregnancy. So you can take a look, and then we'll discuss some possible shortcomings of this interview if this is qualitative research. All right. But after you watch that clip, you can think about what are the impacts of the teenage pregnancy, socially, psychologically, and do you see any signs of regret of those of teenagers? And what do you think are their perspectives about their own future? Now, the good thing is about qualitative research and advantages. It got really a lot of more in-depth information. Okay, and also seeking a wide understanding of an entire situation. So, for example, quantitative research, they found in this particular research, they found that religious people stay in hospital after surgery shorter. Well, if we just rely on this quantitative research, probably that's pretty much the end of story. But how do you know the reason? We probably speculate, oh, because of the faith, prayer, miracle, whatever. So let's conduct a qualitative research to find out why. What are their perspectives, right? So they have a qualitative research component as well. They interview the patients to find out their experience and how they influences their state, right? So you combine these two together. All right. Qualitative has some problems. Reliability and validity, because it's all interpreted by individuals. So it's tend to have a very low reliability and validity. Remember, what are they? Reliability is a constant result, and validity is measuring what you're supposed to measure. Ah, and of course, bias. If you rely on individuals' reports, this is a potential problem. And limited scope because it goes in depth, right? So, so, so for example, Dr. Chen collected her dissertation data based on I think about eight couples, only eight couples, and some people just say, oh, that's not enough sample size. Yeah, eight is small, but in terms of qualitative, eight is quite sufficient because each couple she recorded like hours. I think at least 1 to 2 hours of conversation, and then she need to transcribe word by word, right? So eight couples is a lot. So you can get a lot of in-depth information, but probably not wide enough. All right. So that's qualitative research.